Hi, it's Hayley at Craft Yourself Silly. You can hear that printer going again. We're busy and trying to get Stitch of the Week done for you. So this week it's oval stitch. Now this is, we would class as one of the woven stitches, and it is within our Woven Work Stitch-onary. And it's this one here. It creates these really lovely big statement petal shapes. So you can use it down here as they've done with leaves, or you can do them much, much larger as flowers. It's entirely up to you, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So to start off, oh, steady. To start off, we're going to put a little stitch at the bottom. Now, when I say little stitch, I'm going to exaggerate these a little bit so you can see more easily on camera. I've got a little stitch at the bottom, and then however big I want it to be, I'm going to do another one up the top. Now, because I want you to be able to see this really clearly, I'm actually going to use a second colour of thread. But before I do that, I need to tie this off at the back, because if I don't, then that's going to come undone. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie this off. And I need this nice and tight because we're going to secure those other stitches through this one. So I'm actually stitching through the stitch itself to secure it. Let's trim that off. And I've got another, oh, let's get this nice blue one. Got a blue here, got a little knot in the back as well. So I'm going to bring it through from the back just to the side of that stitch that I had there earlier. And then I'm going to weave it through. So this top thread shouldn't actually go back into the back of the fabric until the stitch is completely finished. So I'm going to go through there. And now tension is really, really important on this. So I'm going to keep turning this as I go so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just threading it through the actual stitches that I've put in rather than the fabric itself. So if you want it to be kind of quite a tight petal, you can pull it quite tight. If you want it to be much fuller, then if I just pull those out a little bit, you can see you can keep it quite loose and quite full. So rather than me stretch across, I am going to keep turning this so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully slightly more clearly. And then I'm going to come back up here and then back down and back up. And the more rotations you put round it, the better it's going to look. And if you can try to get them to lie outside of each other rather than on top of each other, that looks even better. And that is just down to tension. So I'm pulling it a little bit less every single time. Now watch when you've got, it uses a lot of thread very quickly, this stitch. I'm just going to spread those back out a little bit. There we go. And I just pulled that back again, didn't I? There you go. What you need to do is hold, don't just pull your thread to loosen it off and give yourself some more slack where you've got double thread. You need to actually take the tension off by holding it and then slide it along to be able to get a bit more off there. And just keep going round. Ideally kind of 6 to 8 times tends to be kind of quite full looking, but the more the merrier with this. And you just build it up. I'll put one more round in, and once you're happy with the look that you've got, then it's just a case of take it back down to the back of the fabric. So I'll come through there. I'm happy enough with that, so I'm just going to push it back to the back of the fabric there and then tie it off. What you don't want to do at this point is pull on the thread when you tie it off. So it's often quite useful to actually leave that first bit quite long so you can tie them together and leave that little bit of slack on, because if you pull those too tight, you're going to lose that beautiful oval effect that you've got from your oval stitch. If you've enjoyed this, please like us, and you can find more of our videos on YouTube and at craftyourselfsilly.com.